everyone. Hey, everybody. This is the Smitten Kitten with Callie D, and we have Allie on our show. Allie, go ahead and introduce yourself and let everybody know kind of what you do.
Hi, my name is Allie Celebrates, and I have a website, hydrosuperlick.com. And for the past couple of years, I've interviewed like psytrance producers and other DJs and music artists, and also do intentional based art festivals. Everything's gone online now, so might as well just date online too, because we used to meet people out at festivals, at parties and shows and stuff, but now it's like we're all online.
Yeah, definitely. Dating online is hard. I've tried it here and there. I've had, some successes. I've met a couple of pretty decent people. Just for me, I'm such a people person that I don't really do well, especially initially via text. I'm not a small talker. I'm not one to, and then you get trapped into these pen pal situations where you're just
Nope.
always talking. And it's like,
Oh,
okay, when are you going to ask me out? When are we going to meet? Can we at least do a Zoom call, something? And that's kind of when they fall off. So, but yeah, Allie's she's had some success in dating online. She's already told me
absolutely.
she has a list of, um,
A list.
yes, a list of suggestions. And so we're going to get into that in just a minute. But first, I got to give a shout out to Leo gang. We are both Leos.
Yes.
So very much
Roar.
so. Yes. Which goes along with the smitten kitten because we both are rulers of the felines. Okay. So, Allie, give us a little background. You've been in a semi-serious, fairly serious relationship for almost a
Yeah.
year, and
So
you met
I've been
him
in committed
online.
relationships since February.
Nice.
And we were started dating in October of last year.
Hmm.
So it's been like a year of dating, but we've been in a committed relationship since February.
Nice.
So, so
And
definitely
which app did you
decided
meet him?
Bumble,
Okay.
Bumble, and I just think the guys were cuter, and they
Okay.
had more filled out profiles,
Gotcha.
and they actually wanted to talk on the phone and then meet. It's just a little bit better
Uh-huh.
versus any other app was just kind of like another country or just shady, all around shady. So I
Right.
wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah, I've done the ones that I have pretty much enjoyed are go figure Facebook dating, but that's also because it's easy to find their Facebook and kind of stalk them that way, and then kind of get to see who they are, and then also Hinge. I've been using Hinge.
You like
Um,
that?
yeah, Hinge has been good. I tried Bumble, but the whole like me having to interact or do the first message, it's not me. I'm not good at that because I'm like, hey, what's
It
up?
was
Like I'm
hard. It was
yeah.
hard. It was hard.
Yeah. So, okay. So, go ahead and start us off on this 7 pointers for online dating.
Some pointers. Okay, well, the first one is just to know the kind of relationship that you even want. I asked my friends and I was like, hey, I'm actually ready for a relationship. I'm tired of like dating around and basically living it up, just
Right.
kind of playing around, dude. I had a really good time being single. That's all I got to say that.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
So, but I was like, yeah, I just want to have a partner that I can grow with. And I wrote down a list of like nearly 20 things that I wanted in a partner. And I have, we have friends who work in dating services, and I would give them the list, and they're like, girl, you need to get down to like maybe 3 or 4, you
I say
know?
5. 5 non-negotiables.
Yeah. So, but I was like, I dream big, I think big, and I'm like, let me just be extra and see what I can get. I do that kind of with everything I want. That way, if there's anyone I meet or any situation that comes up, if they don't have one of those things, I can go on ahead and just let it go. But more importantly, just to date intentionally. You
Yeah.
know, if I feel like they're a drug addict, or don't have a career, then it's just never going to work out. So just went on ahead and posted that list. And one of my friends told me that her mom actually met her dad by handing out this list to friends. So I
Okay.
actually messaged this list to like a bunch of my friends on Instagram and
Yeah.
Facebook, and I wrote it down. Like I totally wrote the list down in my iPhone in my notes, and I would look at it and be like, let me just change something. As I
Right.
dated people, I would change things or update things or realize some things were kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
But it was always a lot of fun to do that. So is that what you were doing when you were dating? you were like, this is the kind of relationship I want?
Yeah. So, I have my 5 non-negotiables, and I even would post those on my dating profiles. So some of the messages that I would get would be like, hey, I have all 5 of those. So it's like, must love kids and dogs. Like, I have kids, I have dogs. You have to like those 2 things. Like, I don't think I'll ever not have a dog. And obviously, I'll have my kids forever, but must enjoy music. I was in a relationship with actually my 2 youngest, their father, he didn't really like music, and it just and I thought I could deal with that, but it's just so much a part of my life, especially now, that I don't know that I could like date somebody who couldn't come to a music event and enjoy it with me, or like exchange, like new music they've listened to, or somebody I was recently seeing, not anymore, like jazz. And so having, him kind of like school me on, because I like jazz, I just don't know a whole lot about it. So having
Yeah.
him kind of like school me, and then in return, I got to school him on Sublime. I was like, I've never heard of anybody that didn't know Sublime. So I like one night it was just all Sublime stuff, and anyway,
Yeah, that is fun.
must
Yeah.
love music, can't be a drug addict or an addict of anything. And that means anything. So if you have something, even like, let's say you can't function without coffee. Like, I can't deal with that shit. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Coffee's great. Coffee helps you get up in the morning. But if you're just a total flipping jerk because you don't have coffee that morning,
Like a true chemical dependency type of
right?
situation.
Like
Yeah.
whatever it is. Like, I mean, I can go with or without things. Like, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I'm able to adjust and move along. You know what I mean? Like, oh, okay, it sucks. I don't have coffee this morning, but let's just go for a quick walk. Something, do yoga, like, like have options. So can't be an addict of anything. So that's 3. Can't be an asshole, just a straight up asshole. Like, be nice to people, be nice to your server, your server at the restaurant. I get
Yeah.
people have road rage, but if every day that you know that you have to drive in traffic and going to and from work, and you come home just fucking enraged, like, that you have traffic every stinking day.
Yeah.
Again,
That
my
sounds like a
ex-husband.
mentally unstable person,
Right. Just
like
not be an
overall.
asshole. But some people are just assholes. And I'm not. I don't deal with it. And so yeah, you can't be an asshole.
Yeah. And
And then
it sucks because it's like what's worse is like assholes don't realize like I'm an asshole too. Like, you
right,
know what I mean? So I will
right.
hurt your fucking feelings. Like, I know that some people are like, well, I'm petty. And it's like, nah, dude, I'm like dead ass disrespectful. Like,
Yeah,
I will
I'm
fucking
petty.
hurt your
I'm petty
feelings.
as fuck.
But so I can't do it either. And they won't like me anyways. So
Yeah.
it'll filter out anyways.
So that's 4. What was my 5th? Oh, it has to be independent, like, like self-sufficient. N- You know,
Yes,
I
absolutely.
understand people, go through hard times. Shoot, I've slept on my brother's floor for a couple of months because of situations.
Between.
Yeah. But for the most part, must have your own house, or a house that you live in with your own bed and room, must have, your own car, a job, your own money. I'd prefer that you like make good money, because I tend to, and I don't really like to date broke people, because I've found out, especially at this stage in the game, if you're broke, it's a mindset. It's like you're okay with being broke, and you
Yeah, you
take that
actually want it
onto
because you don't want
yourself.
that responsibility. I've dated someone who I was like, "You are so nice, you are so kind," but literally said, "I don't like to work hard because it's a lot of responsibility." And it's like,
Right.
I want to be the one that decides.
Yeah.
I like calling the shots and I like making decisions, but
Yeah. And
you're
broke
right. It really is a mindset,
and broke
you
men are
know?
usually whiny, because it's like, oh, I can't do my car, I can't go see, and it's like, because I'm too broke. I'm just always broke. They're like, oh, I can't stand it. So
Shit, that's so fucking rude.
no.
Like,
So
let me
yeah,
think of something.
those are my 5. Those are my top 5, and I'm sure I have like a couple of little. Those are like the big 5, and then obviously we kind of have like a subcategory that probably can be like tweaked here and there. Um,
Yeah.
it'd be really great if they had strong hands so they could give me a massage. That would be awesome.
Oh my God. I think I put something on there like was really into techno, but it's like it's so far fetched, and
Right?
it's even farther to be like is really into psytrance. Like that's fucking crazy,
Yeah.
Like I already dated the dude that was into psytrance. Like I think I'm good on it.
Yeah. Right.
Um and
Yeah.
then just establishing and just being that type of person, like
Yeah.
actually being ready for that relationship, you know what I mean? Like I totally used dating apps, and I was just like, a, not someone that was ready for a relationship, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I just wanted to party and meet new people. And like, I kind of feel bad. Sometimes I think about it and I was like, damn, I was kind of fucked up to that dude. But at the same time, like, he didn't know what he wanted either, you know?
Yeah.
Like, so it's just kind of like blindly doing it. But being the person that I wanted to that I felt like I was ready to date, like,
Right.
you know, being ready for that. So that was
Yeah.
something that would be a benefit, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
like everyone was helped. And then of course, like when you're on the app, this is my third one. I would always message first with a question, and that's why I liked being able to message first, because
Uh-huh.
it's too many messages coming in,
Right.
especially like OK Cupid and
Yeah.
Tinder. It was just like too many messages, and they all sucked. You know, like
Yeah.
hi, hey, you know.
What are
So
you
on
up
Bumble,
to
they had,
today?
you know, what's your favorite? Just no. So
What's your favorite
what
color? What's your favorite dinosaur?
Dude, that's a good one. But yeah, so Bumble has these like quick questions, and I would just
Uh-huh.
everyone I matched with, of course, once I matched with them, I would look a little bit deeper.
Oh shit.
But the on with online dating, it really was a numbers game for me. And it's like, you know, you try to use your best pictures, but since I wanted a relationship, I wasn't popping up the boobs in a push-up bra. You
Right.
know, I
Yeah.
was basically like, hey, I'm ready to meet your mom like this. Whenever you show your friends my profile, they're like, she looks like a lady, you know?
Yeah.
But of course, definitely, you know, full length body to be like, yes, I
This
got
is what I look like.
everything.
Yeah.
And so I would message them, and then if they didn't message me, I would just go ahead and delete them because maybe they're just too busy, you
Yeah.
know. And then, but to get the conversation going, you know, and then it would only be one day, only one day, and by the end of that day, I would know if they were dumb, bored, or just, you know, not interested, you know,
Yeah.
just because that happens all the time.
Yeah.
And then after that first day, I'd be like, all right, great, you want to talk on the phone? You
Mhm.
know, and after I talked on the phone with them one time, I would know immediately, you know. And this, I'm telling you right now, I would try to get at least 10 messages a day, right?
Oh goodness.
Out of
Okay.
those 10 messages,
Yeah.
five would not even reply or would you
Mhm.
know, message me or unmatch with me because they were like, "Ugh," you know, whoops. Or I would unmatch with them. Shit, girl, that was a little swipe happy. But after of those 5 messages, I would only get one call, one
Okay.
phone call. And
This
so this
almost
is
feels
after,
like those multi-level marketing seminars. They're like, you put these many things out, and then you get these many, and then out of that you get that. I mean, but it's so true. It's just it's the
it's
law
a
of probability.
numbers.
It's you know,
Yeah. The more
statistics
you put
basically.
out, the more you get. But
Yeah. Okay.
even after that one call, and this is over the span of a week, so I've contacted, you know, all these people for the day. I have messaged all these, you know, all these people for that week. And so I'd get one call every other day.
Right.
And a video call, I would get like 2 video calls a week. And then I would
Mhm.
get one date for the weekend that I was actually like looking forward to,
Yeah.
you know? But that was pretty much how you could guarantee a one good quality date for a relationship.
Yeah.
But if you were down for whatever,
God.
you could
It's
do
like,
whatever, dude.
you know, that
There's
gif, if you're down for whatever, that gif where like the hot dogs are like just flying at her face. It's like, ah, like
it's
that's how it
on,
is.
dude.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
that's what those messages were like, stupid. Like, hey, are you down, you know, to have sex? I'm just looking for sex. Great, good for you. And I never
No.
replied.
Yeah.
I
Yeah. No.
never replied. I would just unmatch with them, and then I would block them
Yeah.
because I don't want to match with them again. You know, like I
Yeah.
definitely knew what I wanted at this point, and I'm just trying to go
Right.
through everybody really quick.
Well, I mean,
But
and it's a safety thing too. It's like, you know, you don't know this person, you met them on the internet. Like I've met people that I've known for years and didn't even really know them. So how am I going to really know somebody that I just met on the internet? Like that to me is creepy. So when dudes would be like, hey, you know, especially when I was a bartender and they're like, what are you doing tonight? I was like, oh, I'm working, you know, working until 2, you know, 3 or whatever. Oh, well, if you want to come by and like cuddle after work, like, fucker, I could rob you, you know? Like, I could totally Cardi
yeah,
B your ass, come bring some shit to make you fall asleep and rob your ass first of all, or you could be a serial killer and I could fucking end up missing. Like, no, I'm not about that life, you know? Like I feel
Yeah,
like
that is weird.
it's so irresponsible, you know? And
Like for
but
everybody.
yeah, but I mean, I listen to a lot of dating podcasts, and there's this one girl who would fuck people she just met off of Tinder like night one. And I mean, and I'm not slut shaming whatsoever. It's just such a foreign
No,
concept to me, you know, like I'm just like, and I mean, I just yeah, it blows my mind. I'm like, wow, that's wow, okay.
that's a
Cool. Like
lot. I
I'm
mean,
yeah, I'm glad
hope
that you
that
can
she's
do it.
safe too. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah,
like, you don't want to get a STI, and now you
right.
don't want to get COVID. So it's like double whammy. Like I
Oh yeah,
got
for sure.
and I have
Yes.
COVID. Like
Yeah.
sucks.
Yeah.
You know, and
Exactly.
that is something that I don't have to deal with. You know,
Yeah.
but so the third one was just a message in the questions to get that conversation going.
Right.
Number 4, just delete no responses. Just delete them. Just unmatch with them. You don't have to block them. And of course, if they're gross, go ahead and block them because you don't want to match with them again. Number 5 is get that phone call.
Mhm.
You know, and like with my boyfriend, like I talked to him probably 3 times on the phone because I was actually on vacation in
Mhm.
Miami. And I think we were like falling asleep on the phone talking. So I
You're
thought that
better
was
than
like
I
a
am.
really good sign. A
Mhm.
really good. I mean, he's so interesting. He's so interesting to talk to,
Yeah.
you know, and nobody else was that interesting, you know.
Yeah.
He's got like a great sense of humor and he's really intelligent. That's really hard, you know. And like I just met him, you know. And then the sixth thing is to meet in public briefly,
Right.
like the brief, like
Yeah, the coffee
coffee.
date. Mhm.
And people say they don't like it, and it's because they just their expectations too high. I don't know why people say they don't like it. I originally didn't want to meet for a coffee day because I was like, I don't want to try to drink coffee in the middle of the day. But the reason it ends up working is because we can either go somewhere else afterwards,
Right.
you know, do an activity, you know, because like I always know what's going on or like any of this was before COVID, of course,
Yeah.
but I always knew like events that were going on. And there's so much stuff going on in Dallas. And even in the country now, there's like little things going on in uh like Fort Worth, is that small
You consider
town?
Fort Worth the
Flower Mound,
country?
the suburbs like Flower Mound, and them are
Okay.
just like
Yeah.
but yeah, the even the country areas are doing like outdoor stuff like
Mhm.
all the time, especially right now,
Yeah, yeah.
you know. But so you can either cut it short and be like, okay, well, I've got to go home and do some homework. Because that's
Right.
totally what I was going to do for this date. I was like, I'll just tell him I have homework and then it'll be like, nice meeting you, you
Yeah.
know. But he was like, I was like, all right, all done with my coffee. And then he was like, do you want to do something else? And I was like, so actually, I know of a parade that's going on. Do you want to go and check out this parade? You
Yeah.
know, and then we checked out the parade. And then he was like, hey, do you want to have dinner? And I was like, yeah, I want to have dinner. And then I was like, all right, it's getting late. It's getting, you know, horny time. So I had to like bounce and like, I had to be like, okay, let me, you know, I would definitely like this to extend past,
Mhm.
you know, past just like having sex or whatever, you
Yeah.
know. Um, and then after the first date, it was pretty quick. I pretty much would decide that very first date, like, do I want to see them again?
Yeah.
So um, there's a lot of talk about having like a man funnel. And the whole thing with the man funnel is like to keep them until the date happens, you know, to keep talking to them and getting them until they can.
Mhm.
Because I would either be busy and I didn't want them to show up to my private stuff, you know,
Mhm.
or I wasn't ready to meet them because it does take time to actually schedule an in-person date,
Oh,
you
for
know?
sure.
You know, so but as soon as that first date happened, I'd be like, nope, he's a drunk.
Yeah.
Or nope, like just didn't click,
Right.
you
Uh-huh.
know?
Or they're
Or
a staunch Republican.
dude, I did that one time and he was like, yeah, my BMW has like 12 stations. I was like, radio? You know, like like
Like,
I
you
just
still
never
do
seen.
that?
Yeah, he was like
Yeah.
really into his BMW. I think honestly he just didn't realize like I actually know like I have my musical preferences and just and I was like, all right. I mean, I told him about, and this is why I decided to do a brief first date,
Yeah.
is because we had dinner and then I had tickets to a concert and I invited him to come with me. And after that, I was like, fuck, I could have used that ticket for someone else.
Right.
So now I don't, well, I mean, up until, I met my boyfriend, I was like, all right, we can meet up for, a drink at beauty bar. And if they
Yeah.
were cool, I would be like, hey, yeah, we're going to go to this concert. Do you want to go? And they'd be like, yeah.
Right.
Or I
Yeah.
could be
Yeah.
like, okay, well, I made other plans. So I'll talk to you later. And
Yeah.
after after a couple of months of just kind of being like, talk to you later, I would be like, I would have to tell them like, it was really nice meeting you, but I don't see myself dating you. I wish you the best. And then block them because I don't want to reply. I'm just letting them know because I would feel bad if they would message me like, you didn't like me? And I'd be like, oh, you're okay.
Yeah.
My brothers were like, be honest,
Hmm.
don't be bullshitting with these dudes. You don't want them to do that to you,
Yeah.
you know?
For sure. Yeah. I find so I'm totally down with the coffee date thing because I think that that's a good way to like just meet somebody real quick. Or like do something that's fun, but you don't have to like. So I like to go bowling, or like on
Too.
Mondays, Main Event does like all you can play activities for like 9.99. So it's so you can
That's a
do,
good idea.
yeah.
That's
So
even
it's
good
like,
for dates.
oh, for sure. Yeah, like I totally recommend that for dates. But like, so you can bowl, do laser tag, do what's the other one? Bowl, laser tag, the gravity ropes. I think they also have pool. And then or you can do 9.99 all the video games, all you can play. It's one or the other. And they have a bar, so like and food. So like you said, like play a couple of games of bowling, and then if you
Yeah.
like it, if you're enjoying them, then you can kind of take it a little bit longer, have a drink, and then it gives you like that time to like maybe be kind of flirty and touchy, but without being like too like having to like stare at each other the whole time.
Yeah,
Or not as
that is
awkward as
kind of
like a
weird.
movie where you're just like silent and watching something, the whole time.
Ugh,
And or like
worst.
those free play places are really fun. I
Oh
went to
yeah,
yeah,
Cidercade,
I went to
free
a
play.
date
Yeah.
like that, which was really cool. And then again, after you're done with like playing games, like if you want to like continue on and go to another bar or just whatever, you can. Otherwise, you can be like, all right, after like an hour, be like, oh, yeah, I'm ready to go. But again, it's like, you don't have to worry about conversation so much. Because you have like the games and da da da, and then hopefully that
Yeah,
conversation
pretty
happens
much.
after that, and either there's attraction or there's not. Um,
Yeah, or you have a new friend because like
yeah,
I've dated people who are really my friends. So I think that mindset because there was so much stress like online dating and being like, okay, I'm this old, I need to be married, I need to have kids. Me, having a Latin mom, my mom's from
yeah,
Ecuador with the pressure of being married with babies, like it was like in the back of my head. And finally I was like, look, I have like a career and education. I really just want to be happy and live my life. And my mom finally just chilled out. She's like, okay, you know, whatever you want me, Hitha, just be happy. She finally just like let it go. And that just like made it so much easier to meet someone, to have a great time, to get to know them and to get to know myself because I'm just like you. I love talking to people and I like asking them questions and then almost like applying their lessons to my life or to help
right.
others,
Hmm.
you know. I had met someone and went to Toyota Plaza. It's that arena, that outdoor area once, and he told me like all these crazy stories about a company that he worked for. And I just kind of kept that in the back of my head, like it's a company that it's very hard work, but they play pretty hard. And
Hmm.
so I had a friend that was like, I just want to have a company culture where people are just more fun. And I was like, all right, well, I know Dave and Buster's isn't hiring right now, but why don't you check out this company and see if they're hiring or whatever,
Yeah,
and it was like an insurance company. And so just
yeah,
like stuff like that, I just felt like it was more fun for me than finding the one, my future husband, my baby daddy, and it really did help. It really did help me make that decision,
yeah,
because the internet is like this huge book of like possibilities
for sure.
that, and I think and guys know that too. That's why they're like,
Well, for sure. I mean, and I guess because of that, that's also why I kind of, I have children already. I don't necessarily need marriage, but I do want a partner. But with that, I've kind of adopted more of like a poly type of at, like thought for
oh, like
a
poly open.
relationship.
Is
Yeah,
it going to be poly or is it open?
it can
Like,
be open. I mean, there's several different it's ethical
yeah,
non-monogamy. I like to call
ethical
it that.
non-monogamy. Okay,
Yeah, because
that's perfect.
it's one of those things where it's like, okay, we don't have to be monogamous. I tend to be monogamous myself, for the most part, like, just because it's hard for me to juggle more than one person at the same time. It's just, I've tried it
Absolutely.
before and,
Yeah.
it's just, but I also work in entertainment, and music. And so I'm around a lot of really attractive, ambitious people. And sometimes, alcohol's involved and, shit happens. So it would be kind of silly of me to think that, and most of the time I date people who are also in this industry because that's what I do all the time. And so,
Yeah.
you have these year-long relationships with people, and then one day it's like, hey, let's go do something, and then you kind of have, break off. And I'll tell you, I've known people for 3, 4, or 5 years before I even dated them. But I'm also that type of person. It's really hard for me to trust somebody right away. So I tend to only date
You need
people,
that.
yeah, that I know. It's really hard for me to date strangers and get close to them, especially sexually. Like I don't know what it is about me. That's just I have stranger danger really bad, really bad.
Dude, I feel
Um,
you. I
yeah.
know
So
it was hard for me to get out of dating people in the dance music scene. It
yeah,
was it was like really hard because first of all, I even had this conversation last night, like especially like as an old raver, like former, raver, they're like the level of like love that I outpour. I'm like, I love my friends. Like when I'm with
yeah,
somebody, I like love them,
yeah,
and my friend was telling me last night, she's like, some people don't have that connection because something about like our scene is like we love people. We've been through so many different law changes. We've been through so many businesses failing and growing and working on careers and creating these like events. It's like very bonding. It's like
yeah,
almost like a family type bond,
yeah,
and we love our friends. And this is like, especially like being in the dance floor and like getting into music, it's like more bonding than some people will ever have in their life
for sure.
you know so but at the same time I was like, these things that I'm doing with guys in the dancing, they're not really going anywhere.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
great and it's fun, and but then it doesn't progress to anything, as in
Yeah.
like I actually do want to get married.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of where I was like, well, maybe I'll date someone who doesn't have anything to do with it at all,
Yeah.
and it'll be different. And it's so much different,
Right. Yeah, and I've tried to date outside the music scene, and I think I become pretty intimidating to men that are not in the music scene because they come hang out. Like I had this one guy that I actually really liked, and I think on our second date, I took him to the Dallas Observer Music Awards where I was kind of playing
That was your
manage.
second date? Girl,
I
that's a
mean,
movie. That is.
yeah. And I was playing like Mr. Pookie's manager, and he knew who Mr. Pookie was. I mean, he wasn't like a big fan or anything. But then after that, because like Erica Badu was like the special guest or whatever, and it was her right hand man, Cole Chris's birthday that night. So we went to where like Chris was going to be at because I was like, hey, let me buy you a drink. And he was like, wait till after this. That way I'm not working, blah, blah, blah. So I went to where they were. So on our second date, like he got to hang out with Erica Badu basically, like, and I really didn't know she was going to be there. Like I just sat down next to Chris and like Gavin was there and we're just talking, and in walks Erica with the cake and we're like at their table and I'm like looking over at him and he's like, whoa, and then, I mean, and we had a great time. But then it was like, I got busy and he hit me up like one weekend and I didn't respond because I just didn't get the message till like the next day. And by that Monday, he had a girlfriend. And I was like, motherfucker, you hung out with Erica Badu. Like, like, why would you do that to me? Like, okay,
Yeah,
go be with this
sometimes.
other little girl. That's fine. Like whatever.
Yeah, and you're right. Like I know there have been a couple conversations that have been had where it's like you're just so independent. It's like you
Yeah.
don't even need me, and it's
Yeah.
like it's and just like getting back with a message like, hey, call me later. You got to tell me exactly when you
Yeah.
need that phone call because I really
Yeah.
need to put it in my calendar. And that sounds so rude. I mean, I've been made fun of so many times over this stupid planner,
Yeah.
but also like you sure are wondering how I'm able to constantly, make
Right.
things and be involved in things and have a full calendar. Like people are like, I don't know how you do it. And it's like, oh, because I planned it
Yeah.
and it's in my planner and it's a part of my whole
Yeah, because
year.
otherwise I forget. Like I've had like where I was supposed to go hang out with like a friend of mine, and I did, like you said, I didn't write it down. I didn't and really I think whenever I put something in a planner, or I know that they're putting it in their planner because they're busy too, it's like something that's in my head, like, oh, I got to make this. If I don't do that, then
Yeah.
like let's say, we plan on hanging out on a Monday and I've been so busy that Monday comes around and I'm just like, oh, exhausted, and I'm just like chilling at the house, and then later that night I'm like, fuck, I told somebody I would come hang out with them today. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? And
dude.
and
Yeah.
so, but they didn't call me to like, like confirm. So I feel like,
I
and then I,
hate
and then I
that. And
don't
I'm
want to like
that
message them and be like, my
too.
bad, because I'm such a bitch. But like I just,
Dude, I feel bad. And you know what sucks is I actually need a confirmation. I need
yeah,
it. So
yeah,
I
I do
remember one
too.
time before I was supposed to go meet someone for dinner and I was like calling and texting and I was like, oh my God. And then finally, like, I was like, okay, well, I guess they're canceling. And then he called me from the restaurant. He's like, I'm actually here and you don't have to confirm with me. And I was like, I have to confirm with everybody. And he was just kind of like, you need to get people you can rely on. And I was like, I really do? Am I crazy? I need a confirmation. God, because
Yeah,
it's on the other side of the Metroplex. That's a drive from Dallas
right.
to Fort Worth.
Well,
I
and
need
shit
a confirmation,
happens. So it's like,
you know?
I mean, things happen and people get busy and they have lives
Yeah.
outside of, me. And so it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so, we still on for tonight? 7 o'clock still good for you? Just let me know
Yeah.
if that changes. And it's almost like just giving them permission to, first of all, back out, maybe
Yes.
they've
Like, do
thought
you feel
about,
like it?
yeah, and if it's like, I mean, I've canceled dates day of because of several reasons, not trying to be a jerk. Like, I was a fitness trainer for a little while, and like I had taught a class where I gave the girl like my 5 pound weights, and so I worked out with like my 10 pound weights for like an hour, doing high intensity, like. And so after that, I was wiped out, and I was like, God, I really, and like I took a shower and I like sat on the couch, and I was like, man, I hate to do this, but like I just really can't drive to Dallas and then hang
I'm
out and then have to
telling
drive
you.
home. Like it's just I want to have a good date with you, and I'll just be wanting to go home the entire time, and I'm not trying to stay the night with you day one.
Dude, and you live in Fort Worth,
You
man.
make it sound like
I
it's
went
such
to
a
I went to Fort
bummer.
Worth this weekend. I went to
I
Fort Worth this
know.
weekend.
Where'd you go?
It's super cute. I went to the historic area because for Halloween I was a bandit this year.
Okay.
And I was like, this is gonna be fun. I can
Yeah.
go into downtown Fort Worth
Uh-huh.
and check out all the like outlaw history,
Yeah.
because
Okay.
it has that huge,
Yeah.
I mean, like it was the red light district, that Hell's Half Acre. I mean, like there's some
Yeah.
pretty gangster ass stuff happening
Yeah.
when the railroad opened up. There's
Hmm.
just no way around it. So I actually walked around and was showing my boyfriend like all these different places. I got to go past Red. Is it called Red Goose?
Yeah.
Is it
Red
or
Goose.
Red?
Hmm.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
went back there and I was like, dude, this like stairs will lead you up there to the second floor, and it feels like it's gonna fall down. And it's
Yes.
just
I used to
it's
do
just an
events
older
there.
city.
That was like my
That's
first
what I'm saying. I
weekly.
remember you were there.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I remember going up there for one of them and I was like, this is so much fun,
Yeah.
but it's like PG 30. Well, we went there like at 6 o'clock to go to the water gardens.
Yeah.
And I was like, hey, I know the path for all the historic markers.
Mhm.
So that's the path that we walked. And then it's just different to see downtown Fort Worth basically look like, I don't know, like family friendly at night, because that place
Yeah.
is
It
wild, dude.
yeah, it used to be, they've kinda moved all of that to West 7th, so I think
Oh
downtown Fort
yeah,
Worth
that's
has
right.
kinda like, and when they did the, Sundance Square, so it's become more like family oriented, I think, in actual
Then
downtown, like
that's
where
what
you're
it
talking about,
is.
because all the bars have moved to West 7th,
And
but
that's that whole area by the Montgomery Ward, right?
yes. Um,
Yeah. Yeah,
but
that makes sense.
you're talking about Hell's Half Acre, the Flatiron Building probably should have been one of the, markers. It's, like, right across from the
The,
Water Gardens, by the Omni. It's called the Flatiron Building. I do events
yeah.
there, but I know the owner owns that whole building. He's like a neuroscientist, plus he likes jazz music, and then he holds like special events. So he like lives on the top floor, has his offices like in the middle, and then like downstairs is a special event center. So I get to
Nice.
bartend
Yeah,
there.
you're right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's right there.
Mm-hmm.
It's like
And
right across from the Omni.
Yeah, and I
right
want to say
across.
like Butch
Yep.
Cassidy or something had something going
Yeah,
on there
Butch
because
Cassidy.
there's a statue of him like right outside the building.
Oh, you know what? I didn't see that at that place, but
Yeah.
they did mention his name on a couple of the markers, just like how much violence, just straight up criminal activity was happening there.
Yeah.
But the city officials allowed it because it helped with the town's economy.
Yeah.
And I was like, I felt so validated. I was like, see, if you break the law and it helps the economy, you're fine. And I was
Yeah.
like, am I agreeing with like shit?
Well, Bonnie and
Yeah.
Clyde also hit out in Fort Worth a lot. Also, Lee Harvey Oswald lived in Fort Worth for a moment before he moved to Dallas, right
Yeah.
outside of downtown Fort Worth. But anyway, that's not what the show is about.
But that's the stuff that's
Yeah,
fun though. You know what I
yeah.
mean? Like
No,
anytime you
I do
meet
that all the
somebody,
time. Yeah.
yeah, it's fun to like meet somebody and go on a date
Mhm.
and then talk about topics that are so far off of like your everyday life,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Like period,
I
you
was
know?
I was talking about Egyptian religion, basically, or the Egyptian goddess Hathor and like Sekhmet and stuff the other day, and people are like, "How do you know all this stuff?" And I'm like, "Cause I read."
Learned about those two different the male and the female demons that have sex with people or seduce
Oh,
people. They're called the
huh.
incubus and succubus or something like that.
Yeah, a succubus is a female. Yeah, it's like an
Succubus,
inner.
and then what's the male one? Incubus?
It might be. Succubus
I don't know.
is like a energy vampire, but yeah.
Okay. I know
Anyway,
that person.
I know
So anyway,
several. Okay, so those were all your. So just kind of recap your list again, just so that everybody
okay.
remembers. So be ready to
Okay.
date, right?
Well,
Have
no. Well, first of all, like know the relationship that you
right.
want from this. If
Okay.
you don't know, then you'll just hit up everybody and
Yeah.
around. But the second one is to, you know, be the person that you want to date. Is to
Yeah.
be ready, be open for that relationship, like
Yeah.
whatever kind you want, you know. And then message with a question, not
Okay.
hey, not hi,
Okay.
not
Yeah.
all this stuff. And then delete them if you get no responses. Don't bug them. That's gross and a waste of
Yeah.
time.
Mm-hmm.
And then get that phone call, get that video call in pretty quick because it could be fake, waste of time. Meet in public briefly for the first date, and then just make that decision if you want to meet them again real quick. And
Yeah.
you'll know, you
Yeah.
know,
I think that's a great list.
it's to the point.
Yeah.
Do it. It'll
Yeah.
get you your
Well, I'm doing my 40-day sabbatical from dating, flirting, sex, all that kind of stuff. I needed detoxify myself for a little
so
bit.
good.
Yeah,
It's
and
good.
yeah, sometimes you have to do that. Men are exhausting me lately. I have a lot of like people like, "Where are you at? What are you doing?" Like, it's not your business what I'm doing. Like, why do you want to know? Like, what is the
Oh, you
point?
know what? And just people in general asking questions like or ask me, where do you live? It's like I just don't answer it.
Yeah,
Why
like,
do you need to know? You're gonna write me a letter?
yeah.
I hate being like that, but it's like this is this and I was like, oh, what's this related to? And then I don't get a
Yeah,
reply. So it's like I'm glad I didn't tell you where I do live
right.
because I'm just private. Like,
Yeah, same. Like,
you know,
I need to know what your intentions are for that question. So don't
yeah.
be lazy and
Look at
like tell me
no
what
small talk.
let me know what you want. Like why? Like, cause that's gonna be my like, what are you up to? Why?
Right.
Why? What do you have in mind? Or even if they're like, hey, do you want to go out tomorrow? I even ask them, or I'll tell them, let me check my schedule, but what do you have in mind? Like I always, because maybe I
Oh,
don't
I
want
love
to
that. Yeah.
go, like maybe you're about to
What
tell
we're
me
doing
something
changes everything.
something that's
Yeah.
awful. And then all of a sudden I'm going to have plans, you know?
I feel so bad. Like sometimes I just need something to do. Like you just want to come over and do nothing. Like
Yeah.
even with my boyfriend, like we have to have like a goal. I hate it, but it makes it so much more something to look forward to.
Yeah,
Like make
for
yourself
sure.
be interesting and stand out. You've got like a whole bunch of people on the internet trying to say what's up. Actually
Right.
say something,
Yeah. Well,
like have a question.
I have a whole lot of people in real life that are trying to get at me. Like, I mean,
Exactly. And
and
this is that message to them.
yeah,
If you want a reply, ask a question that matters.
Yeah, exactly.
or just get
Or
stuck
give
in that
intent. Just,
un-
grow some balls and be
thread.
like, "Hey, I'd love to take you out for dinner this week if you have time." Or if you're interested. So that way, at least, it gives me that option to figure out, first of all, if I have the time or if I'm even interested. And I'll probably accept just based on the fact that you're, being like formal about it. Like I love
That's
being
a big
asked on a
deal.
date. Like I don't want to come hang out. I'm not going to come hang out with you. Like, no, I don't hang out with friends privately like that. Like, guys, I don't hang out privately with guys like that. I don't. You're
There's
obviously
always
not a good friend because we would already be hanging out. You know what I mean? So,
facts.
so if you're having to ask me to hang out as friends, then we're not friends, homie. Like that's just not what's happening here. So like,
That's good.
so I don't hang out, but you can take me on a date. And girl, I'm quick to send somebody my cash app for wasting my time. So quick. And I get paid. So what does that tell you?
It works. It works. It works.
you
So
know?
whenever you do your detoxification,
Uh-huh.
are you gonna do like any kind of like inner work? Like, are you gonna do like
Mhm.
30 days of something or 40 days, right? Like
Right. So it's 40
something.
days. 40 days is significant because, if you remember, like in a lot of religions, things happen in 40
40
days.
days.
Like,
That's right.
it's all in the Bible. It rained for 40 days and 40 nights.
That's right.
Passover is usually around 40 days. Or, from Passover to whatever, Ash Wednesday to whatever it is like 40 days. So, I thought it's a pretty significant number. So basically what I do, I'm starting to like work out and like take care of myself physically again.
Yeah.
I think COVID made me super lazy because we couldn't really do anything. Um,
Yeah,
and
dude, getting ready. I haven't gotten ready since my birthday weekend.
yeah,
So it was from March until August the 17th weekend. And I was like, wow, I haven't
yeah,
really put on this
yeah,
face. And I was like looking in the mirror, like, shit, I forgot. It's that
yeah,
bitch.
yeah,
I'm not
exactly.
even wearing makeup right now.
Yeah. I've been wearing lashes because a friend of mine sells them and I'm about to get into the lash game. So I've been trying to learn how to put them on myself. And I mean
Yeah.
lashes make a big difference, man. Like
You know what, Pro
you can just
Lash?
you can do just lashes and very light makeup and still look very good in photos and on video and stuff. So I've been trying to do that more often. But yeah, so like today I walked the puppies. I had gotten kind of lazy on that too. Plus, it was summer and fucking hot. So I walked them about a mile, then took them to like the dog park, which is so funny because we have this huge, like my backyard is bigger than the damn dog park, but because it's something new and there's activity going around, like they just constantly run up and down the dog park. Whereas
They're just
out in the
excited.
backyard, they're like, take a poop, come in. So like they haven't been getting their exercise in. So
Oh,
we
yeah.
walked about 2.5 miles, and then while they played in the dog park, and I have to keep them like away from other dogs just because Ziggy usually is okay. Every once in a while, he kind of goes nuts and fucking a dog barks at him the wrong way, and he wants to fucking show his ego, and like and he's my sweetest dog, and he attacked the neighbor's dog one day out of nowhere. I was like, what the fuck was that? So I just, for now, I keep them on like the opposite side so I don't have to worry about them. Like, so if there's a dog on like the big dog, we go into the little dog park. Um, so anyway, while they're like playing and doing their thing and getting their energy out, I meditate. Um,
Perfect.
yeah.
Yes.
And then
Dude,
we,
I have gotten on that Calm app and I meditate every
yeah,
freaking day.
I
It's
think,
best.
is that the one? I think the one I'm using right now is Simple Habit. But I do have the
Yeah.
Calm app as well. But yeah, I did a Simple Habit today. For some
Yeah, I've got to
reason,
listen to it. They've
yeah,
got music on there, and like sometimes I'll just be listening to like too much like just metal or something and then get all
right,
riled up,
yeah,
and then I'll be like, let me listen to some like straight up bells tinging or something
yeah.
because it really does affect me,
Yeah. And sometimes just having
especially
somebody
like
guide you through the meditation is everything. Like breathe in, breathe
and then
out, now
having
clear
like
your
that
head.
endpoint,
Yeah, exactly. And then it's like,
and you'll see
okay.
and you'll see that on my you'll see it on my Instagram story every day, like you'll know I meditated
Yeah.
because I put the quote up from that daily meditation, and it's
Yeah.
like that message for that day. It's like
Yeah.
something to meditate on because this week is going to be really stressful. That's why I was like, hey, let's do this before
Yeah.
all hell breaks loose. I don't know what's about.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So
So
I'm probably gonna be off the internet for a while. Like I don't
um
know.
a lot of people have been. It's been very toxic. And I have to admit, like I had a friend around for a while, who I'm no longer friends with, basically by her choice, being an asshole. Um, but I realized like what lot of toxic behaviors I adapted from her because I'm such an empath. I think over the years I just kind of like absorbed this like toxicity. And
Yeah.
so and I think that's also why like I quit doing all these other healthy things like working out and da 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 and this and that because I was just so bogged down with this like toxic energy. But anyway, so I'm doing that. I'm also trying to concentrate on just being healthy and by mind, body, and soul. I just got 5 sessions at the pole fitness place with my artist Sarah.
Oh, how
So I
fun.
know. So tonight we're gonna go pole dancing for fitness. So that's gonna be pretty
That's
cool.
hot.
I know. I'm excited.
I did the Deep Ellum Burlesque School and I really
You
liked
did?
it.
Oh, that sounds
Yeah.
fun too. Yeah, so,
Yeah.
and she works a lot with this, certain company, so I'm probably gonna try to, like, slide in and be like, "Hey, I can help you with your social media if you give me a discount," you know? And then what do you have? And then, at night, just a lot of, bath rituals, so, like, using salts and, like, roses and
Yes.
candles and playing music about love and just, and then just concentrating on self-love versus, like, making somebody else fall in love with you, so a lot of self-love rituals. And then
Love it.
I found this ritual and that's kinda also how I got the 40 days, but it basically, like, every night, you light a candle or 2 candles, it's a commitment spell. So you light 2 candles, one for you and one for your like, your future partner, and you just place your hand over your heart and then you just imagine what it would feel like to be in a commitment. Like what do you
Dude,
want to
that's gonna
feel out of
work.
that?
I'm
And
telling
so
you.
I did it for a couple of days and then the person that, I was seeing decided to be committed and then he backed out of it real quick.
Uncommitted.
Yeah, so he uncommitted to
Uncommitted.
me
That's
with a
weird.
quickness and but the
He got
first
scared of that fire. He got scared of that scared. But
whatever.
that happens and that's good
It
because you
does.
want to be with someone who isn't scared.
Right. I mean,
But
I feel like I deserved it. And if he doesn't feel that way, then go the fuck along. But the sad thing about that is
he's
if he would have left things the first time, then we could have remained friends. But since he pulled this last move, like I don't even think I could look at him
no,
anymore.
it's just
I
too much
can't.
disrespect.
It
You'll
very much was so. But
and that's cool. That shows that you do have self-love and
yeah,
self-respect. So
I,
you're
I
already
know
on the right path.
I know my worth. So
Hmm.
but so I had kind of already started it and then, 4 days in, whatever. But the first 2 days, what the things that I was feeling whenever I had my hand over my heart and I was imagining being in a committed relationship was being cherished and adored. I want somebody to cherish me. Like I'm good to people. I'm so good to people. And I think that's kind of, why I've changed my direction on dating is because I'm so good to these men for them to just be able to throw me away like I'm trash. And
I feel
that
that.
fucking hurts. Like and it's this person that you love and adore and respect and then out of nowhere they're just like I can go without talking to you forever. You
I
know.
just want to fucking go crazy.
Yeah, and it's like why?
It's
How? Like I'm hurt that we're no longer friends anymore. Like, how can you just like cut it off like that just because I have feelings for you? Like, how is it that after
I'm
like
telling you right
4
now,
years you can't have feelings
sucks.
for me? So
It's
anyway,
just it's
but
freaking
yes,
weird. I get it so much.
that's
But
that's my
anyways,
40 days. That's my 40-day ritual that I'm going to do and I'm going to abstain from any kind of energy from men, so I'm not going to engage with them sexually. I'm not going to go on dates. I'm not even going to really like respond to flirting at this point. I might be like, "Oh, thank you. That's so sweet of you," but I'm not going to like kind of get that like I'm not going to take that hit. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a drug, this attention from men. So I'm not going to like take that hit from them. I'm gonna be like, oh, the drug is there. Thank you. Bye. You know what I'm saying? Like, so yeah, that's
yeah.
kind of what I'm doing.
I'm excited. That's awesome. And trust me, I did all that stuff too. I actually had a therapist, and
Mhm.
I still have a therapist who guided me through my feelings, through what I wanted, through all of that stuff, because it was a lot to unpack. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
even now that I'm in this relationship too, it's like, because now it's like, now we're moving on to another level, and it's like, oh shit, it's getting like really serious, you know?
Yeah.
So anything, any work that you can do on yourself, or just putting those intentions out there, it's worth it.
For sure. Yeah. And I'm always constantly working on myself. I've been listening to a bunch of dating coaches just to kind of see,
Yeah.
like maybe, just like whenever you play basketball, you replay your game tapes to see where you fucked up, or you watch another team that's doing good to see what they're doing good.
Yes.
So it's like, it's kind of the same concept. I've read a lot of books about narcissism, about attachment theory, about not being the
That's where I'm
fallback
at right
girl.
now. The
Yeah.
attachment, the attachment, the avoidant, and then the like all these different, those kind of
Yeah,
attachment styles.
yeah,
Yeah.
anxious, secure, and avoidant, and then you have avoidant fearful and avoidant dismissive. Let me give you a
Yeah.
book real quick that I read that was really, really great,
Yeah.
on that level. Let's see, where is it at? Da, 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 da.
Yeah, because I was recommended to read this book just straight up called Avoidant, and that's on my list of
Uh-huh.
books to read.
Okay, so
Where it's called
it's called Attached by
Attached. Is it a red cover?
it's white and red. Like it's white with
I think
red.
that's it.
Here.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well,
Yeah,
it's not.
send it to me because I have a book on my list and I think that's the same one, but I just haven't been able to download it because I just learned
Send this.
about it like a couple weeks ago.
Okay, let me see if I can send it in Instagram.
Yeah, send it.
Well, here, I'll just post it on my
Did
story.
you?
I think that
Okay.
works.
Do you have it in Audible? Is that where you have it?
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah, I
Uh,
like getting rid.
yeah. So it's called Attached. It's by Amir Levine and Rachel Heller. Let's see.
All right,
Send.
perfect. I think that's it.
Yeah, it probably is. It came recommended to me on a podcast, or I mean, it was recommended on a podcast. And here, and I'll just tag you in it. Oh, some
Just want to tag me.
there. I'll hide the
That'll be good reading since I'll be off the internet.
Yeah.
So tomorrow I'm just going to do my vote post because that's pretty much what everybody's talking about anyways.
I know, right?
And then I will be off of the internet.
Yep. But
You know,
anyway, so I think that was some really great information. I'm definitely gonna go back and write down those tips so that when I do decide to date again and get on the internet to date, if I decide to do that, I disabled all my internet dating apps for this 40-day
good,
thing
do it.
anyway. Because it's just, it's too easy to go on there, swipe, 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 and then like leave it alone. And like I said, just no, I'm not doing it. So 40 days, and then why don't you tell everybody how they can follow you? You mentioned your website. Because you mention it again?
Yeah, sure. My website domain name is Hydro Supra Licked. So it's Hydro HYDRO Supra SUPRA Licked LICKED.com. And my Instagram, which I'm usually the most active on, is ALLY.celebrate. So it's Allie Celebrates because that's what I do.
Yeah.
And I'm the same on Twitter and Pinterest. Yeah, and then mostly what I do during the day and during the week is I'm on Twitch like every single day now. So I'm streaming like all these live events. I'm just hosting them on my channel.
Oh, nice.
So weekend. Yeah, it's fun. It's just a great way to connect with people without having to breathe on them. But I did a couple of in-person like social distancing events. So
Yeah.
my last post that I have is actually about the whole save our stage. You know that movement where they're trying to get the Congress to sign that for the venues and stuff.
Yeah.
So I did that with Deep Ellum Art Co. on Friday, and I was just like, oh my god, I miss that so much.
I went to Trees on Saturday. I saw Ishi.
Yeah, that's right. I saw that. I saw some of your videos and stuff like that, and I was like, that would have been cool. I just don't know what they're doing, and I'm trying to be as cautious as possible, and I don't want
Yeah,
to.
we had our masks on, and I stayed closer to the bar, to the back, you know. And then when we were outside, we were with like our little group of people, and you know, yeah, we had our masks off, you know, around that. But it was like we kind of all stayed like a little kind of clicked up or whatever, and then we would go inside and put our mask back on. But anyway,
Mm,
but I really enjoyed having this conversation with you, and I miss you.
absolutely.
We need
I
to
know. I was
Zoom
thinking
more
that the other day.
often. So
I
I'll post this on my
know.
YouTube and I'll share it with you so you can share it with your people.
Sweet.
And I'll also share it on Facebook, but you won't be on that. I can't share it on Instagram because I can only do 15 minutes at a time, and that's just a whole lot of editing, and it just drives me nuts. So
Oh,
I
for sure.
yeah, but I have it on my link tree. I have my YouTube in that so people can go see it there. But anyway,
All right,
love you,
sweet.
girl. And yeah, everybody, make sure you go to my YouTube, The Smitten Kitten with Callie D. And then I also have The Smitten Kitten with Callie D on Facebook. Like it, share it. And if you're interested in being a guest, I am super into hearing everybody's love stories, you know, their background, how they became, you know, how they became healthy enough to be able to have love, because I think that's important. I think a lot of us are super
Right.
broken from a broken place, and sometimes we have to heal first before we can move to that stage in our life. So I'm glad that you mentioned therapy. I think therapy is
Do
awesome.
it.
Yes.
Read that book. I'm gonna read that book as soon as I'm done with this other book.
Yes. Awesome. All right. Bye, girl.
All right. Bye bye.